Hi everybody, welcome to another handheld gaming PC video, and this one is with the ROG Ally non-extreme Z1 version. So quite a rare beast this, but I wanted to share and show you some gameplay from Fallout 4, just to kind of show you actually how impressive this handheld is. And I think it's kind of a bit of a shame that Asus didn't keep this sort of on sale probably in the UK and bring down the price. Oh, hello, what's going on here? And sell it for for the price you can kind of get it in the in America. So you can still buy this in. Let me just get rid of these guys. Oh, why are we taking fire from behind? Where's he gone? So you can still buy this from Best Buy, I think, in America for about, I think it's about $400, which is about £330. And if you could buy this for £330 in the UK, that would compare very favourably with buying like a Steam Deck OLED, which is this 512GB version is $480. And so it would make it a similar price to the Steam Deck LCD version, which is 256GB worth of memory. And the secret to getting this non-extreme version to run smoothly and run games so beautifully as this is the fact that it kind of does anyway, because it has this magic variable refresh LCD screen, which means that even when you're playing at low frame rates, it looks like you're playing at a much higher frame rate compared to say a normal screen like you would get on the Steam Deck and things like that. But also what you've got to do is turn it down to 720p. So the panel that comes on the non-extreme version of the ROG Ally, in fact everything is the same as the extreme version apart from the processor, but the extreme version of the ROG Ally performs much better at sort of 1080p up to 120 frames a second, that sort of thing. Where I found with the non-extreme version, what I've done is I put it down to 720p, 60 hertz, and it runs very nicely indeed. And the other thing I'd say as well is that this is a Windows PC, basically, and the problem and the advantage with Windows PC is the complexity that it involves. Valve spent an awful lot of time with the Steam Deck, creating Steam OS with an OS that is based around, we're getting shot at again, based around gaming and getting as much performance you can from the hardware. Where what Asus have got to deal with is the fact that they don't make Windows, they don't make Windows 11, and so they've, until Microsoft come up with kind of a handheld PC version of Windows 11, they've got to load this onto the system. And what that means is it can be quite power hungry. But also what I think the reason why this runs so smoothly is that when you're running it in handheld mode and it's running at 15 watts, so similar kind of TDP to what the Steam Deck is, the cores that it can take advantage of will be similar to the cores that the Z1 Extreme can take advantage of. However, what would probably happen, and obviously I can't test this because I haven't got the extreme version, is that when you plug the extreme version into, say, a power supply and plug it into, say, an external monitor, and you want to run games at 1080p, 60 frames a second and above, the Z1 Extreme will, that will be something that we'll be able to do, because it'll be able to turn on all those extra cores because it's got that extra power. Whereas the non-extreme version that I've got here won't be able to do this. So it could be, there's a one of the Brotherhood of Steel down there. They're probably having a fight with someone, I'd imagine. In fact, there's two of them, isn't there? What are they up to? What are they doing down there? Whereas the non-extreme version that I've got here, actually, when you're running at 15 watts, has got very similar performance to the extreme version. So this is Fallout 4. If you're considering buying it to play on the ROG Ally or any other handheld or your PC or a console, it is an absolutely fantastic game. And at the time of recording this video, the TV series isn't that far off either. And as you can see, it runs very, very nicely. Now, I know it's difficult to kind of judge things when you're watching a video on YouTube that's been recorded using a mobile phone, but if we turn on the monitor, you should see the FPS. So we're in a fairly built-up area. There's not much going on there at the moment. We're running at almost 60 frames a second. As I say, this is 720p. It's not 1080p. The graphics settings are high, but I only set them high for this video. Normally, I run these at medium, and then it's kind of a rock solid 60 frames a second, and it is a little bit smoother. But I've got to say, the smoothness of Fallout 4 on this non-extreme version of the ROG Ally at 60 frames a second, and smoothness, I mean, is when I'm kind of looking around like this, the non-jaggedness of, jerkiness is better than the Steam Deck. Now, it's kind of started to make me question about whether maybe I've got some settings wrong on my Steam Deck. At 60 frames a second, maybe it should be a bit better. Whoop. Probably not the best gun, this sniper rifle. In fact, let's turn the sound up. Where's he going? I think he just got killed by my companion. Thank you very much, Ada. You did a grand job there. But speaking of sound as well, although you can't hear much on this video because I've turned the sound down, the sound on the ROG Ally is amazing. It's almost got like it's got 3D sound with the sound coming out from outside of the little device itself. In fact, I can hear there's some sort of there's some sort of battle going on over here. Let's have a peeky. Oh wow! Oh, it's a vertibird that's crashed. Has it crashed? Let's go and have a peek. This is why Fallout 4 is so amazing. There's all this emergent gameplay that happens. So we get what we're getting, about 35 frames a second out. Ooh. Oh, someone's shooting at us. Oh, the super mutants. Let's just watch this because it's pretty cool. They want to back off. Okay, they've gone inside. Okay, so hopefully what I've kind of demonstrated here is how nicely Fallout 4 runs on the ROG Ally non-extreme version. How great it looks, how amazing the screen looks. And I wish this screen was on the Steam Deck. And I wish that Asus with ROG had released, I think, a 720p version of the Ally that just ran at a screen that was a 720p 60 Hz panel to reduce the price of it. Maybe put 256 gigabytes worth of memory instead of 512 gigabytes, again, to bring the price down. And then sell it for sort of 300 quid. Sort of $400, and that would have been, very, very competitive indeed against the Steam Deck and some of the other other competitors as well. So there we go. Hopefully, you've been impressed by this. I thought, wow, that is pretty amazing. I thought the non-extreme version of the Ally, was dead in the water with the kind of look at this big crater. With the kind of press it released on got on release. I mean, it does have. I guess that the negative points, and this probably applies to the ROG Ally Extreme version as well, is the battery life. You're going to get an hour and a half sort of thing out of this, probably when you're playing games like this, because Windows at the moment anyway, especially Windows 11, is just not optimized for a handheld battery experience, and to get these graphics running, like the way they are, it needs a fair bit of power. Where the Steam Deck is, wow, it's much more efficient at doing that. Anyway, that's been quite impressive, isn't it? Hopefully this has given you a good impression of the ROG Ally Z1 non-extreme version. Put your questions in the comments down below. If you've enjoyed the video, hit like. If you want to see more of the same, press subscribe. And of course, I'll see you again soon.